They called Africa primitive. They said our ancestors lived in mud huts and wore leaves. But hidden in dusty archives, under layers of colonial lies, is the truth. Africa once stood at the pinnacle of global science and engineering, building technologies so advanced that even today, modern science is still playing catch-up. These are the secrets they tried to bury, and we're digging them back up. Secret number 1. The Great Pyramid's electricity. Oh, Egyptians used torches and candles. Not quite. On the walls of the Temple of Hathor in Dendera, there's a carving that baffles mainstream archaeologists, known as the Dendera light. It shows figures holding a device shaped like a modern light bulb, complete with what looks like an electric filament inside. Now here's where it gets wilder at the Baghdad Museum. Before its looting in 2003, archaeologists found 2,000-year-old clay jars with copper and iron components. When tested, they produced a mild electric current, essentially ancient batteries. Could the Egyptians have used a similar power source to light up their temples without smoke and soot? The absence of soot on certain tomb ceilings strongly suggests something unusual. And remember, this was over 2,000 years before Edison. Secret number 2. Timbuktu's robotic guards. By the 15th century, Timbuktu wasn't just a city of gold and scholars. It was a tech hub. Ancient manuscripts describe mechanical lions built to guard royal compounds in the Mali Empire. These weren't magical creatures. They were automated machines designed to roar and move when someone approached. Imagine, 400 years before Leonardo da Vinci sketched his famous automaton, West African engineers had already built robotic sentries. The manuscripts preserved in Timbuktu's libraries also show detailed engineering diagrams. Many of these were hidden away during colonial rule, with some stolen and smuggled to European archives. Secret number 3. Kushite antibiotics. The kingdom of Kush, south of ancient Egypt, flourished for centuries in what is now Sudan. But here's a fact that flips medical history on its head. In 350 AD, over 1,500 years before Alexander Fleming discovered penicillin, the Kushites were already using tetracycline antibiotics. How do we know? Archaeologists found bones with chemical traces of tetracycline. The source? They brewed medicinal beer, infused with naturally occurring antibiotic-producing bacteria, to treat wounds and infections. While Europe was still relying on leeches and superstition, Africans had mastered practical, science-based medicine. Secret number 4. The star maps. They couldn't steal. European astronomers needed telescopes to see Jupiter's moons and Sirius B, a tiny white dwarf star invisible to the naked eye. But the Dogon people of Mali already knew about Sirius B in the 13th century. Their oral traditions describe its elliptical orbit around Sirius A, and they even knew it took roughly 50 years to complete one revolution, facts confirmed by modern astronomy centuries later. And then there's the Benin Kingdom, whose ivory carvings weren't just decorative. Some were astronomical calculators that predicted solar and lunar eclipses to the hour. These were advanced enough to guide agricultural cycles and ceremonial dates with precision that rivaled any European observatory of the time. Secret number 5. Self-healing concrete. The Romans brag about their concrete lasting 2,000 years. But Great Zimbabwe, built between the 11th and 15th centuries, used something even more remarkable: a self-healing mixture. The mortar was blended with termite saliva, creating a material that expands and bonds over time, sealing cracks on its own. 7 centuries later, the walls still stand, without a single drop of modern cement. Meanwhile, modern concrete crumbles in just 50 to 100 years. Engineers today are trying to replicate what Zimbabwean builders mastered in the Middle Ages. From electric light to robotics, from advanced medicine to cosmic knowledge, Africa's so-called primitive past is more futuristic than the present. These weren't accidents. They were the result of genius, experimentation, and thousands of years of innovation long before Europe's so-called Age of Enlightenment. But why did the world bury this history? Because a continent that knows its past is a continent that can reclaim its future. Still think Africa was backwards? Comment more if you want more of these hidden histories. Share this with someone who still believes Europe invented everything. And subscribe because this is just the beginning.